Growing a business is kind of tricky right now. Supply chains are squeezed, tariffs and trade policies are dynamic, and cash flow, it's tighter than ever. You need clarity to come out on top. Without it, you risk falling behind. If only you could hop in the DeLorean and see the future, right? Thankfully, there's NetSuite by Oracle. NetSuite has real-time forecasting to help you move ahead with confidence. This is your AI-powered business management suite and the #1 cloud ERP. Trusted by over 42,000 businesses, NetSuite brings accounting, financial management, inventory, and HR all under one roof. It's your single source of truth, giving you the data and control you need to move quickly. And with AI built in, you can automate the busy work and focus on strategy. NetSuite helps you see what's stuck, what it's costing you, and how to pivot fast. If I were running a business with a lot of moving parts, I'd use NetSuite for full control over everything. Tame the chaos with NetSuite. If your revenues are at least in 7 figures, download the free ebook, Navigating Global Trade, 3 Insights for Leaders at netsuite.com/SPI. That's netsuite.com/SPI. You spent months building towards launch day, but when the clock hits 0, your site crashes. Bots swarm, and loyal fans rage on Reddit. That's not good. Fanfare was built to stop that. Fanfare is the drop platform made for high-pressure moments, stampede-proof infrastructure, verified waitlists, and bot filters that actually work. Instead of refunds and rage, you get retention and revenue. And that sounds great to me. Your next launch shouldn't be a gamble. Get Fanfare's 5-step hype drop playbook and learn how to bulletproof your drop at fanfare.io/playbook. Again, that's fanfare.io/playbook. Congrats, your business is doing great. All your hard work is paying off, but you need help like now, and you have to hire fast. How can you hire amazing candidates quickly? Easy. Just use Indeed. When it comes to hiring, Indeed is all you need. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. Indeed sponsored jobs help you stand out and hire fast. And with sponsored jobs, your posts jump to the top of the page for your relevant candidates so you can reach people you want faster. And it makes a huge difference. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. One of the things I love most about Indeed is that it has one of the largest databases of job seekers, giving employers access to a wide range of candidates. And with job alerts, I get notified when new candidates apply. And with Indeed sponsored jobs, there's no monthly subscriptions, no long-term contracts, and you only pay for results. So how fast? Well, in the minute that I've been talking to you, 23 hires were made on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. There's no need to wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/smartpassive. Just go to Indeed.com/smartpassive right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/smartpassive. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring, Indeed, is all you need.
This is a Smart Passive Income Podcast with Pat Flynn, session number 135. Bloop.
Welcome to the Smart Passive Income Podcast, where it's all about working hard now so you can sit back and reap the benefits later. And now your host, who was asked out by a girl as a dare, Pat Flynn.
While DIY website tools are everywhere, most fall short on design and performance. Hit publish. Framer ships your site worldwide in seconds. No code, no compromises. Framer is a powerful, user-friendly platform that delivers developer-level results without writing a single line of code. Make your designs move and convert with Framer. Framer brings your site to life with powerful animations, dynamic content handling, and a design-first approach that helps your site stand out. Framer is the design-first, no-code website builder that lets anyone ship a production-ready site in minutes. Browse hundreds of pixel-perfect templates or even design something of your own on a totally blank canvas. Add bold animations like appear effects, text effects, scroll and looping animations, and much more in seconds. And it's free to start. The built-in AI handles the heavy lifting of generating starter layouts and can even translate your entire site to any language. On the back end, you'll get responsive breakpoints, built-in hosting, a flexible CMS, and privacy-friendly analytics. Ready to build a site that looks hand-coded without hiring a developer? Launch your site for free at Framer.com and use code SPI to get your first month of pro on the house. That's Framer.com, promo code SPI. Framer.com, promo code SPI. Rules and restrictions may apply. Hiring shouldn't be a hassle or a drain on your budget. Upwork is your one-stop shop to find, hire, and pay top freelance talent, saving you time and keeping costs in check all in one place. Companies at every stage turn to Upwork to get things done and find more flexibility in the way that they staff key projects and initiatives by assessing a global marketplace filled with top talent in IT, web development, AI, design, administration support, marketing, and more. And I've personally used them myself and can vouch for them. Posting a job on Upwork is easy. With no cost to join, you can register, browse freelancer profiles, get help drafting a job post, or even book a consultation. From there, you connect with freelancers that get you and can easily hire them to take your business to the next level. Upwork makes the entire process easier, simpler, and more affordable with industry-low fees. Post a job today and hire tomorrow with Upwork. Visit Upwork.com right now and post your job for free. That is Upwork.com to post your job for free and connect with top talent ready to help your business grow. That's UPWORK.com, Upwork.com. Go there now.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat Flynn here, and thank you so much for joining me today in session 135 of the Smart Passive Income Podcast. You know, one of my favorite things to do here on the podcast is to feature success stories of people building successful online businesses outside of the how to make money online, how to create a successful blog, how to become an entrepreneur space. I've heard directly from you, the listener, in emails, on Facebook posts, in tweets, and directly on comments of similar episodes that you just can relate to these more. I know you guys enjoy, because again, you've told me, the Tim Ferrisses and the Gary Vaynerchuks and, you know, people of high caliber, A-listers who have made it already. I know you like when they come on the show and they talk about what they do and how to do things. And, you know, a lot of them are very forward thinking, but it's these types of episodes, the one like today, that you all seem to resonate with the most. Which is why come next year in 2015, you're going to hear a lot more of these types of success stories. Again, stories of people building their businesses outside of the how to make money online space. Similar to Shane and Jocelyn Sams in episode 122, two teachers who are now making six figures a month by selling digital products to librarians and other football coaches. Just an amazing success story. And I know Jocelyn and Shane are listening right now. Guys, I still continue to get feedback and emails, and you know, when I go to conferences, people tell me that episode with those two teachers was so inspiring, and they got me off my butt and started to work on my online business. And I can't tell you how often I hear that, and I hear that about other episodes I've done with similar success stories, like the one with Lane Amen, who had made six figures in the scrapbooking industry. I'm not even kidding. I'll link to that in the show notes as well. But I'm really excited about this episode because this is another one of those success stories. This is Moore Miraz, who is an animator. He's an animator. So he's on the computer creating digital movies and things like that. And he's built an online business by being transparent in the realm and the world of animation. So we're going to get into his story. So without further delay, I'm so happy to welcome Moore Miraz from bloopanimation.com. Hey, what's up, SPI listeners? Another great interview today with Moore Miraz. He's here. What's up, Moore? Welcome to the show.
Hey, Pat. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, and I want to thank you for emailing me, reaching out, and telling me your story, because it's just so incredible what you've done in an industry that isn't really akin to doing stuff in this sort of online internet marketing type of way. You know, we've had episodes in the past with creative types, and those were really popular because those kinds of people don't really see or even take advantage of what's out there. So first of all, before we get into, you know, the strategies and tactics and tips you have for everybody, just tell us about yourself. What is it that you do, Moore?
Hi. So I'm a 3D animator. I went to the School of Visual Arts for computer animation. I graduated a few years ago, and kind of like during freelance work, which is usually what most people would do after school. Like I know you did it also, like as an architect after school. Mm-hmm. Usually artists would just get hired by a studio, or they start freelancing, and that's it. They do the job, like the art, and that's pretty much it. I feel I kind of took a lot of the online marketing methods and started implementing them into the animation world by creating the website that I have, bloopanimation.com, that we're going to get into later. So yeah, I feel it is, that industry really is not really thinking in business senses. I feel like they're thinking a lot like artists, and I think a lot of artists for some reason really differentiate the business side of things. Like they leave the business side out of it. They want to be the best artist and try to get like jobs or freelance work or whatever, without really doing a lot of, social marketing, stuff like that, which
Right.
are much more common in other industries.
Right. I mean, it's really important, especially if you know you have something great, especially if you want to share it with the world. In order to really get the most out of it, you have to take advantage of these things. It's just like how a lot of us spend time writing content on our blogs. We spend all this time and effort and energy writing, and then we just expect that after it's posted that it's going to go viral, which
Right. And
might happen, but not really.
And that's really funny because that's one of the first lessons I've learned. Because when I, as a creative person, as like a person who wants to make stuff for an audience, I just always assume that I will make something and people will just want to watch it. And something I learned, I created a short film after graduation, and I posted it. It was on YouTube, Vimeo, and I also created an animated web series during school. Like I really wanted to create stuff out there, and what I've learned while doing it is kind of hard. Is that nobody cares about what you have to say. That's just in general. Mm-hmm. But then I learned that nobody has to care about what I have to say yet. Like nothing that I will make is just going to be automatically interesting, or even if it is interesting, people are still not going to watch it. There's just too much stuff out there.
Right. So how do we cut through all that noise?
That's what I had to like. That was one of the lessons I had to learn, because when I created the animated web series, I worked so hard on it. I had like actors, and I produced 4 whole episodes, which was really hard, and just nobody cared. And then I realized, like nobody cares about what some person is doing until they get to know them. And when I really learned that lesson was after I finished my film. I created a video. I don't even know why I did it, but I created a video called "How to Make an Animated Movie," and it was just me for 7 minutes talking about what really goes into making an animated movie. And that movie just got so many views so fast. And I was so confused that like I created all these cool stuff and nobody watched them. But then I explained how to make a movie and you watch that more than the movie. Mm-hmm. Like that just didn't make sense to me at the time. And then I realized what was going on. Like that's much more interesting to people, like to teach them and learn them and have them learn the process behind what goes into stuff is much more appealing to people.
I love that because, I sort of do the same thing on my blog. I talk about things that I do and I bring people behind the scenes and talk about what went right and what went wrong. And people really appreciate that. And sometimes I think of the things that I love to be a part of and listen to or read or watch movies, books and audio podcasts. Like what is most interesting to me is like how they're creating those things. Like for instance, a movie, right? Like I love movies, but I love even more how those movies are put together. That's why I love watching like the DVDs with the bonus section that tells me like how they did all this and the things that they cut out. Like I love that stuff. So that's really cool that you sort of discovered this by accident.
And it's funny because I love those things too. So it wasn't like a discovery. I already knew that I loved them, but I didn't think of making that. Mm-hmm. So like it was kind of a shift in perception of like, instead of trying to just push content to people who are not ready for it yet, maybe that way I can get them to listen to what I have to say, and eventually they'll be interested in the real art that I'm making.
Sure. And is that what happened after this video kind of went crazy? The other stuff that you created before that wasn't getting any pull, that people were starting to see it?
Well, a little bit, but most of all, I just realized that, okay, this is what I need to do right now. So like this is working, maybe I can make more of it. And then somehow how I got to your site and also other online marketing, because once you start with one person, you kind of start to get all the names and like go all over.
Sure.
But I really feel that your website was like my torchlight leading me through the process, because I had no idea about anything in online marketing, affiliate marketing, like any of the passive income thing. So when I saw what you were doing, I thought, what if I just took all those methods that you created in the niche site duel and just implemented like exactly the same, just like in a completely different industry. Like instead of showing how to build a website and all the stuff you've done, I'll do that with a film. Mm-hmm. And that's what I've done over a year. I just gave everything away all the time, and I created another short film. That was my second one, the one that I'm releasing right now. And I did it like an online marketer and not like an artist.
Mm-hmm. So Bloop Animation is the website you created, and you said you created this about a year ago?
Yeah, but I think it was August last year.
And now give us the sort of timeline of, when things finally started to take off. Was it right when you started it with that first video, or, what's the process been like for you?
Well, no, it was kind of slow at the beginning, but there was always a growth, and I kind of believe that, like, eventually it will reach a high number. Like, it's not stopping, even though it's really low. I know it's going to work. Like, I don't know how long it's going to take, maybe 2 to 5 years, but I knew that, like, eventually if I'll just keep doing it, which is the hardest part, just keep doing it, right?
Right.
That's where, like, a lot of people stop after like 6 months or a year. So I decided that if I don't stop, it can't fail.
Mm-hmm. So
and now I'm standing on like maybe like 20 to 30 K a month, like unique visitors.
Awesome. Yeah, I was going to ask you that actually, how many visitors you had. So 20 to 30K a month, which is great, and you're growing. What are some of those strategies from the niche site tool? For those of you who are listening who don't know what that is, I've built sites publicly on smartpassiveincome.com and showed people, exactly how it worked and what I did right, what I did wrong, and those types of things. You could find those at nichesiteduel.com, and there's a tab at the top that says updates for all the reports that I've done. But tell us kind of what were the exact strategies you used to help grow Bloop Animation that kind of came from that.
So I think it's kind of hard to pinpoint specific ones. I basically implemented all the general online marketing tactics they use with like lead generation, or like create a small document or an ebook to give away to get leads. Like work really hard on like a resource page, like what you have on your website, or like a very clever about page that kind of navigates the viewers in the way you want it. And I really think that those things are really not common in like for like artists or people like I don't know. It was really weird trying to implement all those things in such a different way, because I've seen those stuff implemented all over like on the internet with online marketers and people who talk about making money, but I've never seen them. Like if I Google like animation blogs or whatever, it's horrible. Like what you see like on the first page of Google, like the first like 4 sites they look like from the 90s or something, like they don't realize like all the potential that you can get out of a website like that if you think of it like a business. Like I really try to separate in my head to separate the art and the business. I'm not approaching it, and I'm approaching it from very different perspectives every time that I do something.
Right. Now, do you feel like because you're focusing sort of a lot of your attention on the business side of stuff, on the website and lead gen, like you were saying, and I want to get into some of those details with the resource page and, your incentive, but do you feel like you still have the ability to do what you actually set out to do, which is create, and or do you feel this is kind of taking time away from that? Is it helping you, or is it taking time away?
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, it's going to take some time away because I am putting time into it, but it's giving me so much more. So I think it's worth it, because I wouldn't get the audience otherwise. If I just like focused on the art, it would take maybe 10 times longer to get the same results. So, and also because all the work that I do revolves around making the film, I'm kind of like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Like I'm still doing the film, but whenever I'm finished with like, sound design, I'll just make a tutorial about sound design. So it's already like the tutorials kind of write themselves as I do it. I don't have to think of like what to do now or how to get people to, it's all built into the project.
Sure. And so for everybody out there listening, this is kind of, let me try to see if I could sum this up for you in a way that's easy to understand. So if you are a creative type, or even if you're not, whatever it is that you are creating, you can talk about that process. You could share everything there is about that process. Sort of like how on Smart Passive Income, I shared how I built websites. Well, Moore is telling people how he's creating these films, which is a great strategy. Obviously, it's been working for both of us, and I love it because it's giving people an over-the-shoulder view of what's going on, and also it allows people to take action themselves too. Do you have people who follow you more who have taken what you've taught and have created their own stuff?
Well, I hope so. I didn't really, because these projects take such a long time. I think it's still early for me to see if I really got these kind of results yet. Because if people did start to do something that were inspired by what I do, it would take so long for them to do it. I still don't really know. But I do get a lot of emails saying, "Oh, you inspired me to start, doing this or that. I'm really inspired. I'm going to animate right now." Like I do get those emails. I didn't really see if any of them actually did anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Maybe there's some way you could hold a contest or have everybody sort of give a report on where they're at with their animation. You know,
I've definitely thought about it to try to get feedback from people who took action and see where they're at.
That's awesome. Now, going back to the start of bloopanimation.com, this is like your hub now for everything, where you talk about your processes. What are some strategies you're using to get more traffic to your site? How are you, getting people over?
All right, so if we get technical for a little bit, every post that I post, I also publish it on Reddit, on my Facebook page and Twitter. So that's kind of like a default thing to do. Stumble upon as well. I get a lot of traffic from Reddit, actually. They to their dedicated animation channels. A lot of people come from there.
Mm-hmm. Would you recommend that's a strategy that a lot of people are missing out on? Is perhaps posting their niche specific stuff on Reddit?
So I'll tell you, it's just not fun to post there. That's the only problem I have. I always get negative reactions. That's just everybody there they're very intense, and they just want to be mad at you for posting. And it seems like they always say that you're spamming, or every time you post some kind of link, and I'm really
promoting your own stuff. That's why.
Right. It is, but I'm really posting specific articles only in specific channels that I think the readers would benefit from, and sometimes the reactions are good, but there's always going to be people who get mad, and it's only on Reddit. I haven't seen it in any other kind of social network. I don't know why they're so hard on you with the stuff you post, and I don't post that often too. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It's just not a fun environment to post. But it gets so many visitors, so that I have to do it.
Right. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, so you have this posting regimen. You post your your tutorial or whatever it is on Bloop Animation. Then you put it on Reddit, on Facebook, and on Twitter. What else do you do?
We should say that YouTube is my big thing, because all I do are video tutorials. So I actually started on YouTube before I had Bloop Animation YouTube channel, and then I built a website a month later, because I realized what am I doing? These people need to get somewhere. It's not going to just stay on YouTube.
Right. And that's a mistake a lot of people on YouTube make. They have a great YouTube channel. They have sometimes even hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but then they don't really tell them what to do or where to go. There's no way to reach them later because they're only on YouTube. And so my guess is that you are doing the right thing in collecting email addresses on your site.
Yes, that's and these are all stuff that I wouldn't have known if I didn't, start listening to your podcast, read all those blogs that I have. I wouldn't know to get out of YouTube and build a site or get emails. I thought, why do I need to pay for all those emails? It's really expensive. I pay $20 a month just to get, I didn't see the benefit, but then after listening and reading, I do see the benefit. And that's my most important thing, to get emails. I have about 4,000, I think, so far.
Talk about the emails. Why are they so important to you?
I just know that all the online marketers can be wrong. Right, everybody is saying that this is the most important thing. So I blindly just followed that belief, and then I also saw that I can just communicate with them so often, and I started an autoresponder series. So now whenever a new user joins my site, I'm talking to him for 3 months without doing anything. We have a conversation every week, mm-hmm. and it's all automatic, and it's so valuable. And it's something you can never get with anything else, not Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Everybody gets the email. Not a lot of people open it, obviously, but not a lot of people open Facebook too, or the Facebook status. Barely. I think 10% of the Facebook audience see the status when you post it. I think there's some kind of metric.
Yeah, I think the last I heard was 6 to 8% average is the reach for any page, which is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, that's very low.
But I'm glad you see the importance of email. I'm curious to know how you are using it. Beyond the autoresponder, beyond keeping in touch with people over time, what kinds of things are you sending to them? What are you using it to generate any income, for example?
So I'm not trying to use the email to generate income. All of my income is based around YouTube views and ads on my website, and affiliate marketing through Amazon, Bluehost, and a few others. I have different. Every time I find out about some kind of service that I start using, I try to see if I have an affiliate for it, and I recommend it if it's relevant for my users. But I don't try to sell through the email because I'm also not really selling anything right now. I'm currently working on an ebook about the making of the movie, so that will be something I probably sell later. But I feel that email is more of a communication tool for me to keep me on their minds, on the viewers' minds, like so that if I do sell something or want to say something important, they're not going to think like, who's Bloop Animation? Why does he email me all of a sudden? But I do have some tactics with the autoresponders, such as my first email would be, is there anything specific you would like to see, any kind of tutorial you would like to, for me to do? And that gives me like a ton of ideas for tutorials. So that's kind of an automatic tutorial idea generator for me.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. So you don't even need to guess anymore what your audience wants. They're telling you right then and there.
Yeah. So, and I also use it to just send posts. Like whenever I post something new, I send an email to everybody about that specific post.
That's good. That's something that's very underutilized, and something I try to do more of. I know I don't use my email list as much as I should, and I've had a number of people email me when I do send an email saying, "Pat, these are great. I need to see more of this." So I need to listen to my audience too. But yeah, it's really important because those are people who like your stuff, and sometimes they aren't subscribed via RSS, or they just don't happen to be on Twitter or on social media. So you should absolutely be sending emails to your list if they have subscribed about your post. Now, if you're worried about people getting too many emails, for example, if you come out with a new post every day, then that might be a little too much. But you could do a recap email, like at the end of every week. I remember I used to subscribe to a blog at shoemoney.com, and he came out with a post every day for a while. And I would get a recap email every Saturday with all the posts. And some of those I had missed, or just it was nice to be reminded of them so then I can go back and read them later. I do have to do much better with my email list.
Yeah, I try to keep it not more than 2 a week. I don't want to be annoying with my emails because I know I'm very annoyed when I get a ton of emails.
What is your long-term plan for Bloop Animation?
So I think all that I'm doing is so that I can make films and not worry about money. I think that's really hard because it's really hard to focus on your personal project when there's a job to go to, or when you need to make an income, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like if the website will be able to completely support me financially, and all I have to do is make films or those kind of fun artistic projects, that'll be amazing. That's my step one of my long-term plan, I guess, to reach that point.
That's cool. I love that, because what you're doing here is you're creating, you're an artist and you're doing stuff, but you're sharing how you do that along the way, which gets other people inspired to do those things, to follow your lead. And what's cool is everybody has a different way of doing their own art. So they're going to take what you taught them and kind of put their own style and spin onto it, which I think is really cool.
I mean, let's see what I did with you. This is a completely different world, but you inspired me to do something in my own world. I remember when I saw the income report and all the, I was just shocked that someone is talking about those things, because who says who tells people about what works for him financially? That's something that's just you don't see online so openly. So and then I thought the movie industry is very similar that way. People in the movie industry they're really trying to hide stuff from you. They don't want you to know anything about the movie. They will make you sign NDAs if you work anywhere around it. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking, what if I just do the complete opposite of that? And I gave away my storyboard on the first month. You can download it for free. You can press a button and you get the whole storyboard, and you know what happened at the end of the movie. That's it. I'm not trying to create suspense. If you want to make that movie, if you want to steal that idea from me, you go ahead. You can try to spend a year of your life and steal the idea and make the same movie. I'm coming with a complete open, all my tricks, all my shortcuts, all the stuff that I didn't want to put too much time into this, and I'm explaining why. And I'm not trying to make it pretty. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to really just show what I do every day to make that film happen.
That's really cool. I ran across a site last week, just kind of randomly during one of my work breaks, and it was a beer crafting site, and it was really interesting because he was telling everybody about everything that was going into what took to create this beer that he'd brew in his garage from his house. And it was just so interesting, and I know, for instance, you think of the big name beer companies or soda companies or whatever, they have secret recipes and, it's all locked up in a vault somewhere and they don't want anyone to touch it or get near it. But here we are. I'm so interested in somebody just telling me everything, and I could do it myself if I wanted to. I think that's really cool. And if you could be the person to influence other people to do that based off of your own experience and your own journey, I think that's really cool.
Right. Ideas are not the hard part.
Mm-hmm. It's the implementation.
Yes, it's the actually doing it. That's the hard part. So if you want to steal my idea, go ahead, but you have to actually do it. And that's not easy.
Absolutely, you're right. Now, what are some of the challenges you've come across along the way? Was this always sort of easy for you and natural, or what were some of the things that were trying to stop you along the way?
Well, I think I do have the entrepreneurial spirit, so that wasn't hard for me to decide to want to do it, but just the day-to-day scheduling time-wise, because I do most of the year I do work at a studio. I do freelance animation work. Mm-hmm. So if I had to work on my project, the website have to be evenings and weekends, and that's just hard to do. That's hard to go and work on a 3D program in front of a computer for 10 hours and then go back home and keep working on a 3D program, a software for another 4 or 5 hours, and then go to sleep and do the same over. Mm-hmm. So I think that was the hardest part. Until it can become a full-time thing or at least part-time, it's just hard to squeeze everything.
But before we finish the show here more, any final tips for anyone out there who's just looking to create and get started online? What would you recommend them to do?
Well, I really believe in the Steve Jobs quote of a real artist ship. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you know that quote. So I really believe in just make something. If you start planning or overthinking it or making something huge, odds are you're not going to make it. So I guess my tip would be is if you're at all inclined to doing something like that, just do something, start something small. All I had was a YouTube channel with 0 subscribers and a how to make animated movie video. That's all I had. Mm-hmm. And that was enough. I just did another one the next week and then another one. And you just got to keep doing it, I guess. The only way to fail is just to stop.
Yep, absolutely. I highly agree with that. And I love that quote by Steve Jobs, real artists ship.
Yes.
For sure. Thanks so much.
I was talking about the Mac team back in the day.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Dude, Moore, thank you so much for all this great information and the inspiration, and congrats on the success of what you've got going on. I can't wait to see your new film out there for the public. I got a nice little preview of it. Thank you for that. And it's very cool. So, I'll put a link on the show notes. Hopefully we'll time this right so it's published when that comes out, so people could check it out and see kind of what you do from an artist perspective.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was really a lot of fun to have a chance to talk to you a little bit.
Yeah, man, for sure. We'll talk soon, and all the best to you.
Oh, you too.
Thanks.
See ya.
Alrighty, I hope you enjoyed that interview with Moore Miraz from bloopanimation.com. You can get all the other links and the link to his movie Lift Up, which he talked about, which is now live on YouTube. You can find that on the show notes at smartpassiveincome.com/session135. I love these quick success stories. I'm going to do a lot more of them, like I said at the beginning of the show. So if you have a success story like this outside of the how to make money online, how to build an online business space, I would love to hear from you. Shoot me an email at pat@smartpassiveincome.com, and in the subject line put success story, and my assistant Jessica will read those over and forward some over to me to look at that she feels would be great. And so I look forward to seeing those and to perhaps contacting you. I won't be able to contact all of you, I'm sure, but I'll reply to you, and we'll try to set something up to get you on the podcast as well. Not only to just promote your business. That's not the purpose. The purpose is to inspire and help others and show people the way, because there's a lot of people out there just like you. For those of you who have gone through and were in the trenches already or are already in the trenches right now, there's a lot of people who can get and pull inspiration and education from you. So let's hear from you. Again, you can email me, pat@smartpassiveincome.com. I'd love to hear about your success story. Just 1 or 2 quick paragraphs, and then we'll talk more down the road if it makes sense, and I'll contact you if we're going to make that happen. So thank you again so much. Again, the show notes for this episode can be found at smartpassiveincome.com/session135.
Guys, I've really been enjoying this podcast, and I will continue to do it in the future for you. I know a lot of you have taken the information that I've shared here, the interviews that we've done with other experts and other people, and have actually taken action with it. And I just love you for that. I'm so thankful that I have an audience who is actually not just learning, but learning and putting things into place to make change in their lives and the lives of others too. I mean, we're all here to serve other people, I hope. But I know a lot of you also need a little bit more help. I've been getting messages left and right from people who have been asking for more and deeper information about certain things. So what I've done is I've actually put together a number of courses, and there's more courses coming in the future, thanks to your recommendations. If you go to smartpassiveincome.com/courses, you'll see a list of the courses that are currently available there or that you can sign up for the waitlist for. Again, that's smartpassiveincome.com/courses. Check it out.
Thanks again so much for listening to this episode, and look out for the next one, because the next one, actually the next two, go hand in hand with each other. In episode 136, we're interviewing David Siteman-Gartland from theRiseToTheTop.com, talking all about how to build an online course that sells. So really into the detail of what makes and how can you build an online course that will sell, not just sell for $97, but a big one that you can create that will sell and be your flagship product for your business. And then in the next episode after that, we're going to be talking with Amy Porterfield about a very specific strategy you can use to launch that online course with a bang. All right, I'll see you guys in the next few episodes. Until then, thank you so much. And if you have time, please leave a review on iTunes. They are extremely helpful. Not only do I read them all, but they also help with the rankings and the exposure of the site as well. So just head on over to iTunes, look up Pat Flynn or Smart Passive Income, leave an honest review and rating, and thank you so much. I appreciate that. Cheers, take care, and I'll see you in the next episode of the Smart Passive Income Podcast. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Smart Passive Income Podcast at www.smartpassiveincome.com.
Hey, fellow podcaster, does this sound like something you've experienced? You record your podcast episode on one platform, download the files, edit in another app, then fire up a different tool just to create these social clips. Well, it can be clunky, time-consuming, and frankly overwhelming, especially for creators trying to grow. And that's why I'm excited to tell you about Riverside. Riverside is the all-in-one platform. Record, edit, and repurpose your podcast content all in one place. You just log in, record with your guests no matter where you are in the world, and just like that, studio-quality audio and high-resolution video. We use Riverside here at SPI as well now. With built-in AI, I can automatically clean up my audio, saving myself so much editing time, and it can even auto-generate clips to make promoting the show a breeze. And with Magic Clips, I can grab the best moments and repurpose them as short-form video, perfect for YouTube Shorts, TikTok, or Instagram, without re-recording a thing. So if you're tired of juggling tools and want a faster, simpler way to create and scale your content, it's time to try Riverside, built by creators for creators. Just go to smartpassiveincome.com/Riverside and use code SMART to get 1 month free on the Pro plan. That's smartpassiveincome.com/Riverside, promo code SMART. More people dream about building their own business and being their own boss rather than retiring early. But a majority of them never even take the first steps to register the business. Why? Because starting a business can feel overwhelming. With legal forms, paperwork, finances, it's a lot. And that's where Taylor Brands comes in. Taylor is a complete business builder designed to make launching your business simple and stress-free. You can register your LLC in just minutes, keeping your personal and business assets separate from day one. And from there, you can get access to everything you need to get off the ground, from legal documents, licenses and permits, invoicing and bookkeeping tools, and even a 100-day business coaching program to help you hit the ground running. You'll also get a free personalized business plan, branding tools, and so much more. And of course, our listeners get an exclusive 35% discount to get started. Just head to taylorbrands.com/SPI. That's TAILORBRANDS.com/SPI. Stop dreaming, start building with Taylor Brands.